The Kin Host. I, Ivor Anhad, I return. It has been so long. Decades. I can scarce remember the corridors I now walk. Searching. I take many a wrong turn. Nothing proves you have been away, and now a stranger in a strange land, as much as that. To be lost when home. But then, although this hold would always be my home, it was not where I dwelt, not in my heart. I was searching for the one being, my brother. All those years ago, before I left, he came to me, my Ironkin brother. We had fought shoulder to shoulder at Beringer 5, the dust fields of Mandrake Majoris, the horrific belt wars against the Greenskins. But I could not settle when we returned. I needed to go. I joined a crew, a prospect. I was going outside, into far space. And he came to me, and he looked at me, and just asked, "Do you understand?" I nodded. I thought I did then. I theatrically exclaimed that I was going to be someone, to do something, to find something that would enrich the Votann and our entire hold, be worthy of song or joining the ancestors. I thought I knew it all then. He merely nodded. His shoulders seemed to slouch slightly, if that was even possible for an Ironkin. But he said nothing more as he watched me leave. And it is before his dwelling that I now stand, the first place I truly wished to see when I came home. I pushed lightly on the chime, and it went off, and swiftly the door opened. He must have seen the ship dock. He knew I had returned. And there he was. He stepped back, beckoning me to enter his hearth, and so I did. Before anything, he intoned the same question. "Do you understand now?" I beamed at him as I responded. I thought I did. Now, I merely think I do, perhaps. But I now know more than I ever have, and I am willing and eager to learn more. My brother looked at me and intoned, "Perhaps you are more than when you set out, but you are definitely more you." "Thank you," said I. "Have you changed, my friend?" "Yes, but slower, as is our way. But yes, I have changed." "Well, I return." "Yes, but the further question is, why?" "To speak to the Carl and the Hearthspake, and to pick up invaluable resources." He says, "You have come far for a request that could have been sent at distance." I retort, "I pay homage to the Spake, to the Carl, and because I had to come home. Resources? Invaluable resources. But now you lead, according to your insignia. Well earned, I hope. Hard earned, brother. Hard earned. As they should be. Always. If you lead, surely you have all the resources you need." "Nearly. But I needed permission." "Interesting." "Indeed. I had hoped you would say that. You see, The permission is granted. I would have found you no matter what, but I come to you now, because I would have you at my side. The Hearthspec has given me their full support. The Hold goes to war, brother. I go to war. And I would have you beside me, as we once were, in the battle line. I will need your solid head to guide me. So, wilt thou come? Not as my subordinate, but as my brother in arms, as we strike down the foes of our fanes, our hold, and our very Votann. The Ironkin took a step backwards and nodded deeply to his brother. I will fight with thee for the Votann. What about for friendship? That too, my kin. That too. Then we go, now, this very moment. What of those resources you required? And the kin looked back at his brother and said, I have them now. I have them. Welcome, gentle listener. I am Baldermort, your faithful servant, and I wish to introduce you to the factions, forces, and faces of the Warhammer 40k setting, the grim darkness of the far future, where there is no time for peace, there is only time for war. Don't forget, we have a natural history and mythology channels now, links in the description. So go have a shufti. Now, let us proceed. And today, we shall be discussing the kin hosts and their ways of war. Not their weaponry, mind you. We shall cover them more in the days to come. And so, as usual, let us lean on the new existing wisdom. From the first codex for the Leagues of Votann, to quote, the kin host. The assembled military forces of a kindred are known collectively as its kin host, comprising the kindred's mass soldiery, its iron-hard elites, the artillery and war engines of the Forge, along with auxiliaries from groups such as the Hernkin and Chthonians. The kin host is a potent force indeed. A kin host is usually built around a solid core of what the kin call soldiers of the line. The most prevalent of these are the Hearthkin, stoic and dependable bands of soldiers who form the main battle line in combat. Hearthkin are technically citizen soldiers, in that many of them have side trades and interests that they focus on during peacetime. However, as members of the kin host, they are trained as frequently and rigorously as the elite warriors of many other races. As kin do not engage in anything unless they are willing to do it to the best of their abilities, all of this training and dedication sees the Hearthkin boast excellent discipline and prodigious martial skill. Indeed, a trainee warrior may not join a band of Hearthkin until they are able to pass a rigorous series of tests to prove their endurance, marksmanship, aggression, tactical acumen, and courage. Those kin who aspire to become Hearthkin, or indeed other designations of soldiers of the line, typically boast clone schemes well suited to their ambition. They may be especially resilient, swift of thought and action, able to rapidly heal physical injuries, see in low-light conditions, and so on. As with the Chthonian guilds, the kin host also invests in augmenting its personnel. Many Hearthkin benefit from augmetic organs or limbs, cerebral communication chips, ocular targeting implants, and various other useful additions. Each kindred's forge prioritizes arming and equipping their kin host soldiery above all but the most essential duties of hold maintenance and void ship construction. The Hearthkin are no exception to this, and thus go to the battle clad in hard and void armor, wielding an array of potential weaponry from Autok pattern bolters to iron blasters to Hylas auto rifles. No soldier of the line is considered expendable, despite being their race's rank and file. Rather, every kin warrior is seen as a valuable combat asset, not to mention family members and scions of the ancestors. Field medics are common amongst their ranks, These kin are provided with exhaustive training in first aid under fire, as well as limited engineering tuition that enables them to provide the required level of care to damaged Iron Kin soldiers. Kin-house military doctrine emphasizes the intelligent use of lives and material by Hearthkin and their comrades, never wasting either in the name of anger or vainglory. Strong bonds of loyalty bind the individuals of each Hearthkin squad together and ensure the comradeship of one squad to the next, meshing kin-house formations beneath the trusted leadership of the heroic leaders. Those soldiers of the line who show sufficient aptitude are given additional training in order to wield specialist weaponry, such as L7 missile launchers or Eta Khan plasma beamers, or to serve their comrades as scanner operatives and communications officers. If a kin shows particular drive and aptitude towards leadership, they will be nominated by their superiors or comrades to be promoted to the rank of Thane, which roughly translates to squad leader. This is a great honour and responsibility both, which most Thanes strive to live up to. Kin who truly excel may be selected to become members of the Einherjar, or else to ascend to the ranks of Karl. Treading one of these paths does not preclude following the other at a later date, and some kin have even belonged to both elite circles at once. Most commonly, however, the Karls stand apart as war leaders and generals, while the warriors of the Einherjar fulfill roles such as elite strike troops, bodyguards, boarding parties, and the like. The trademark of the Einherjar is their exo armor, massive servo-assisted suits of powered battle plate. Exo armor is capable of shrugging off anti-tank fire, while hugely enhancing its wearer's might in battle. It can also mount an impressive array of weapon systems, including Eta Khan plasma brands, vulcanite destructors, concussive weapons, plasma blades, and even the potent mass accelerators that transforms the Einherjar champions into living battering rams. Organization and command. When the kin host mobilizes for war, it is commanded by the kindred's Votannic Council. This body consists of the most senior and respected heroes of the kindred. It often includes the High Karl, the Brockier Forge Master, the kindred's Lord Grimnir, and other senior figures of authority and power, as well as assembled advisors. The Votannic Council is normally gathered only for the grandest conflicts, however, usually when the entire kindred of their hold face direct peril. At other times, portions of the kin host forces may be led to war by smaller gatherings of heroes, such as Karls, Brockier Iron Masters, or Living Ancestors, or even just a single one of these brave commanders. However large the mobilization of forces that occurs, the available kin soldiers, combat vehicles, voidcraft, and any attached Hernkin, Chthonians, and the like are organized into one or more oath bands. The size and composition of an oath band is almost endlessly flexible, from a handful of warriors under a siege leader to an army of millions, supported by all the machinery of interplanetary warfare. Often, in the face of dire need, an oath band will simply be drawn together from whatever kin forces are available at the time. The one constant of an oath band is that it has an ultimate commander, most often, but not always, a Karl, to whom all its warriors swear an oath of service until such time as the oath band's goals are met or their leader releases them to fight elsewhere. So variable and seemingly ad hoc an organizational structure would be unimaginable for most of the galaxy's races. Thanks to their close subconscious bonds and sense of shared purpose, however, the kin are able to operate in this fashion with little, if any, confusion or difficulty. End quote. Hence we see that the kin are advanced in so many ways, not just in their use of ancient technologies that would, if known about, elicit an all-out war from the Imperium just to secure them, but also in the way they treat their people. For the true proof of an empire is how it treats its citizens. And the kin see each and every one of their warriors as a resource almost beyond compare, certainly not for the wasting. They train and equip their soldiers in a way that shows their import. For none are sent into the fires of battle without the honing and weaponry to make them a real threat, but also so that their chances of survival are the maximum that the hold can provide. Even the rank and file are remembered to be equally important as the leadership, and that they are ancestors of their people, a resource that cannot be expended on a whim. And this is utterly in opposition to the Imperium. Also, they are clearly a meritocracy, allowing those with a propensity and skill for leadership to rise through the ranks. It is not based on lineage, nor inherited station and rank. Thus should the kin be a far more lethal army to most in the galaxy, as their warriors are not only genetically engineered to be exceptionally robust, resistant to the warp, but equipped to the very best that they can be by the Votannic Council and the High Carl. And they are led by the best person for the job. They have flexible formations designed by need and threat, not static treatises or even traditions that are ritualized and thus sacrosanct. And this is not something many other species or factions can actually claim. For the kin going to war are a professional army, and one that treats its men and women as such, soldiers, not cannon fodder. Through this week, we shall see their weaponry, their upper leadership, and of course, the very nature of the Votann themselves. I look forward to you joining me on this journey of exploration of this wonderful new faction. I have been Baldermort, your faithful servant. A swift reminder about our other channels, links in the description. And thank you for your precious time. Now, no matter what you do today, do try to make some time for fun. Toodaloo.